I'm Nathaniel Shapiro. I'm from Geneva, Switzerland, and I play the violin. I'm a doctoral student in the last year of my coursework.
Hi, my name is Sun Ha. I'm from South Korea. I'm a doctoral candidate in violin performance.
Hello, my name is Esteban Hernández. I'm from Bogota, Colombia, and I'm a first-year doctoral student in viola performance.
Hi, my name is Jimbo Viteri. I'm a master's student in viola performance here in Indiana University.
Hi, my name is Wuli. I am almost an ABD DM student in cello performance. I know that my involvement in it last year compared to this year, there's been a huge difference. The orchestra is much larger. I think last year, because of the results of Hurricane Maria, there was a little bit of a struggle with funding, but they still managed to pull through with it because they believed that, you know, especially after such a devastating event, that it was even more important for them to pull through with the mission of the ICOPR. And in terms of all the young artists and people involved, it's mainly my teacher, you know, working many, many years on trying to invite all of these artists from all over the world, and especially featuring young artists as well, because he really believes that we can bring a lot of vibrance into the communities, into Puerto Rico.
One of the core missions of the ICOPR is spreading a message of peace and brotherhood through the power of music. And this involves also not only public performances, but also outreach events and meeting with, you know, a younger generation, with children that maybe have not had access to classical music before, that come from all different parts of Puerto Rico to see, you know, just if it's an open rehearsal or a concert, and to get to meet all the artists involved and the musicians and the maestro himself. And it's a really wonderful program, actually.
There were like 8 concerts, including a rich concert. And the first week of the festival, we played Beethoven's Second Symphony and guitar concerto. Yes. Yeah. And second week we played Mendelssohn Symphony Number 1, which we barely hear, and it was really wonderful experience to play with all great musicians there. Yeah. And Nathaniel played in chamber music too, with Mr. Agostini and Mr. Colón. Yeah.
Yes, the population of the orchestra was very diverse, from 14 countries all over the world. It was very touching for me, and I think for Latin American performers, to be able to go to a Latin American country and to speak our language to the people, and as a professional experience to be involved with our culture, which we found very similar to our countries. People from Ecuador, as Alex, or Brazil, as Cristiano, a friend of us. We were very close to the people there, and I think we could connect with them in a very beautiful way because of that. And also people from all around the world, they could feel that appreciation and gratitude from the audiences, and that was very important for us.
Yeah, I was going to say that from the 2 years that I've been involved in this project, especially this year, there's been more of a focus on the outreach aspect and area. We pretty much did, I feel like we did, you know, in the first week, we did outreach concerts at least once a day, even if not like twice a day. And I felt like across the whole 2 weeks, we probably reached out to over like 1,000 communities and a lot of school kids as well, so they managed to get buses to transport them to the actual rehearsal venues. And on top of that, there was a lot of teaching focused as well. So I know Esteban did a lot of teaching with the little kids, so I'm sure he can tell you a bit about that as well. But we all, especially young artists, we all kind of did our part going into the audience during breaks, in between rehearsals, to try and socialize with the little kids and introduce them to our instruments.
For me, like, how beneficial it was, I think the most beneficial thing for me is that the orchestra was a mix of professionals and students. So the students were college artists, and the professionals, like the artists and professionals, were like professors from Eastman, or like from big schools, or like former New York Philharmonic players. So this mix, and to be able to work together, and to see them, like, not when you go to a concert and you see like that guy that is playing, and you kind of see him like an unreachable person, but you see him working next to you, like watching how humble the person can be, and how hard work it is, and how the process of rehearsing is with next to this person. I think is something that as a student you can learn. And because sometimes, I don't know, in life you can get a little, deviated from ground, and see people that is already a professional being look them so humble. I think that's one of the most important lessons for me, and that I took from the festival. And also, I think it's very important to connect, and the connecting with people, and not just make a professional connection with the other professors, but with your colleagues too, and to be able to talk about, for example, what the plans of Esteban could be for future, or like what the plans of Diana could be after she gets the doctorate here, and maybe to be able to construct something, to build something together after this. I think that's one of the most important things. I also talked with a professor from Eastman, and I mentioned that, he would be interested to come to my country to do some master classes, and that kind of, and he seemed very, very interested. So it's like that's what I want, and that's what I look for each time I have the opportunity to get involved in a project like this, or any project at all, to connect and to try to help my country in a way. Yeah.
Yes, I think Professor Colón was a model and a very inspiring figure for all of us. The work he and Kara, his wife, do is very intense and very touching, because they do it with all their heart, they do it with all the intention, and I think for us all it has been inspiring, and for me personally, it became a model to be able to do this in Colombia, in my country, or what Alex talked about, connecting with the fellow young artists and the professional artists, and having ideas about how this works, could develop into a bigger project for our own professional careers in the future.
There is one thing I feel like we should mention before we talk about this. We haven't mentioned that this festival is completely free of charge for anybody who wants to attend the concerts. Yeah, and Professor Colón and Cara have worked really hard on obtaining funding for this festival to work. To go, and they just recently were awarded the National Endowment for the Arts. Which is a very big deal, actually, and I think will help the festival in the long run.
And I think it's all about them really believing that even local people, like local Puerto Ricans, having them involved in the festival, whether it's like performing or like young artists, young Puerto Rican artists as well. For example, the guitarist was Puerto Rican, and we had many other Puerto Ricans that were playing the orchestra, but also just a lot of local Puerto Ricans that are doing their part in trying to make this and bringing it out into the community as well. And this is something that both Cara and Emilio have worked really hard on trying to get everyone involved in the community. You know, whatever your background is, whatever you specialize in your day job, or whatever you're passionate about, whatever you're interested in, they want you actively involved in trying to make this happen. So it's been very inspiring to see them on this journey.